Should Desmond Ridder suit up next week for the Falcons? Or are you rolling
So-
Taylor Heinicke?
There's something weird happened at Atlanta. I don't know how closely folks were following this, but Desmond Ridder got pulled mid-game for a concussion check. When he was asked what play he thought it happened on, he said he had no idea and didn't take anything to the head. Then he was cleared to come back and play, and the Falcons still didn't let him come back. Meanwhile, Taylor Heinicke steps in, and immediately the offense looks totally different. There's a passing game. It's explosive. He gets a passing touchdown. I get that one passing touchdown doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you've seen the Falcons this year, getting a passing touchdown when you're only playing half a football game really means something. I personally feel like maybe I'm giving up on these guys too quickly, but I feel like we have seen enough from Desmond Ridder. There's a lot of turnovers. He can't show up when it matters. Meanwhile, Heinicke, you're at least getting something out of the guy. And with all the stuff that's around them, you need a quarterback who can produce something. So I'm not playing Desmond Ridder again. And I bet, even though Arthur Smith is hedging, he doesn't want to either because his job is on the line.
I agree with you. I would roll Heinicke out there because he adds another element to their game. Desmond Ridder has had ups and downs this year. The Houston game, he looked really good. And then he follows it up and has a bunch of turnovers in the next game. It's like I want to root for him, but when you saw what Heinicke did and how he added another dimension for a Falcons team that is actually competing for a playoff spot, even though they don't look like a playoff team all the time, their division is so bad that it's very realistic for them to win the NFC South and host, not just go to the playoffs, host a playoff game. And if you're hosting a playoff game, you can make some noise. All you have to do is, a couple games, ball bounces your way. You could end up in the divisional round NFC Championship, and, it happens sometimes. So if Taylor Heinicke gives you the best chance to do that, I know you're hoping Ritter could be the future, but it's hard for me not to roll out the guy that is the best suited to win these games. And who knows, maybe if Van Jefferson catches that ball at the end of the game, they go down and win it at the end. But I thought Atlanta looked a lot different with Heinicke in the offense. We'll see what they ultimately decide to do.
And Heinicke has a decent track record.
I love Heinicke.
He's shown pretty good success in the past. I don't think there's much of a question here at all who you roll out next week if you're Atlanta. I mean, if Heinicke comes out and he looks good again and wins the game, he's your guy. If he looks bad next week, then we can bring the question again. I think this is pretty obvious, though.
This is the thing, though, right? Like the door once this door is open, it will never close. Like I said last week, there are no two words that destroy a locker room faster than quarterback controversy. And if you're this Falcons team, you are ready to win, right? This is sort of supposed to be their year. I think it is telling that not your year to win the Super Bowl, but your year to finally start putting something together.
Yes.
Right. They've sucked for a while. This was sort of the year you're going to leave that post Matt Ryan Hayes, win the easy division, if not get that NFC 7 spot, which no team in the NFC deserves.
It's very it would have been the Vikings, but
I just mean the fact that Arthur Smith will not commit to a starting quarterback means things could go bad quickly in Atlanta. You got to find who the better player is, play him, and win some freaking games already.
What if Heinicke does come out next week against Minnesota and just looks horrendous?
Then it's a question again. Yeah. Then you probably if he looks horrendous, you're going to see Ritter the next week.
But I think that it's a no-brainer for this.
They're lucky though that Cousins went down because the Vikings were going to go and beat up on Atlanta with Kirk. I have no doubt.
We still might beat up on.
I would agree with
you. Yeah. The Falcons being 3.5 point favorites, I think, is silly.
I think there's a clear drop off when Kirk was healthy. I thought from the top 6 teams being the Niners, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, Vikings, and Seahawks, I thought there was a big drop-off to the next batch of teams that are playoff football teams. I don't think anyone else was really a playoff team in the NFC, even though you have to have one.
Yeah, look at the teams that are competing for that 7 seed, right? It's like the Vikings, let's count them out, right?
Yeah.
You have the Saints, the Buccaneers, the Rams, and the Commanders.
Yeah, so it's very open for Atlanta. That's why you got to roll out the best guy. We'll see what happens. I only
didn't include the Falcons because they're technically first in the division right now.